This is Support is Sexy, episode 376. Pause or push through. Welcome to Support is Sexy. I'm your host, Elayne Fluker, entrepreneur, author, and founder of Chic Rebellion Media. 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, I interview inspiring women entrepreneurs who share their wins and their lessons to help you take your business and your life to the next level and create something sexy. Here we go. Hi, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Support is Sexy. I'm excited to have you here because it just would not be the same without you. And today I want to talk to you about something that we've addressed before on the podcast, this need occasionally for us to take some time, create some space. I talk about breathing space and all these different ways that I've said it, right? This idea of making sure that you're taking care of yourself, being aware of yourself, trusting your intuition, being aware of your feelings, not even just your feelings emotionally, but physically. How are you feeling when you're going out into the world, whether it's your job or your business, or maybe you're doing both, or your family? How are you experiencing those things? And is there a space, or have you created a space? Have you made sure that there is space for you to take care of yourself, breathing space, whatever you need to make sure that you are your best self in these moments? Today, I want to revisit that because I don't think you can talk about it enough. And maybe the reason I don't think you can talk about it enough because, quite honestly, it's a lesson that I continue to learn. I have to keep reminding myself that sometimes you just need a little bit of space. I know it. I was going to say I know it intellectually, but maybe I don't. I know it. I know it's good for me. I know it's necessary for all of us in order to be able to keep doing the things we want to do, especially if you're dreaming a bigger dream, which I know most of you are, because you have these dreams of things that you want to create. A lot of times you're doing that when other people might not necessarily believe or support or be there in the ways that you hope they would. In other words, you might be doing it, you feel like, on your own. Although you're never on your own because I'm here for you because support is sexy. But I know what it's like to be in those moments where, look, you're just tired. Some days you just might not have it. And that is what I am making sure that I am aware of. Now, what I want to do, though, is know when I need to pause and when I need to push through. I get to do either one. We talked about during our 12 Lessons of Sexy series recently that it's a get to, not a have to. But I get to decide, do I pause or do I push through? And that alone is a privilege. Sometimes people are in situations where you don't have a choice. You have to do one or the other. It might be a matter of survival, even this pushing through. But for most of us, it is a choice. And sometimes we make the choice. Let me speak for myself. Sometimes I make the choice to push through when it's not the best. And that either means the best for me. Maybe it's not the best for me emotionally or physically or whatever it is. Or in some cases, when I'm thinking about specifically doing the podcast or creating some kind of content, there are times when I do push through if it's late at night or I'm trying to get something up or something out or keep up with something. There are just things that I do because I do a lot of it by myself. For now, but support is coming. I know that. I'm claiming that. Support is coming. But a lot of it I do by myself. It's quite a bit of a pace, 5 days a week, as you can imagine. And there are some times when I'm trying to push through and it's just not working. Now, you don't give up if you make mistakes or something happens, or even with life. I have a lot of things going on family-wise right now. So sometimes those things get in the way. And I try to push through. But then there are moments I'm starting to learn when I have to say to myself, you get to pause. You don't have to push through because you're not going to deliver your best to your audience, to your readers, to your listeners, whatever I'm creating. But in this case, talking about the podcast, I want to be the best for you, the best that I can in the moment. Now, like I said, there are some nights or days or whenever that I do push through. For example, I had a really bad cold a few weeks ago. Well, that doesn't really need to stop me unless I was super ill, which I have been in the past, super ill, maybe with a stomach ache or something like that. There are reasons, okay, cannot push through that. But there are other times when figure it out, push through. But moments when you need to, you get to pause. Giving yourself permission to pause is so important. This is the thing, too, I find with, especially in my case, creating so much work. My thing is I want to be prolific and have a lot of content and a catalog to share with you all. So that's another reason I'm excited about doing all the episodes and the things that I'm offering at this time. But also, pausing keeps you from resenting that work or resenting the process. The work, I don't think I'll ever resent. Most of you probably will feel like that. You won't resent the work, but you might start to resent the process. And it's hard to keep up a certain pace and stick with a process if you start to resent it, if it starts to feel like you're pushing through constantly, that joy is missing. That's the thing, right? You don't want joy to be missing overall from the process. Now, there will be moments when, again, real life, things happen. You don't feel like it, but you do it anyway because you get to do it. You love to do it. Even if in the moment, for whatever reason, it might be a little bit tough. Push through. But pause if you get to the point where you start to resent the work or figure out, here we go again, how to get some support so it's not all on you. I know a lot of you are solopreneurs. You're doing it on your own. You're side hustling. You're just starting. You really want it. You have the dream. Is there a way for you to get some support so you can pause? Is there a way for you to bring someone else into this part-time virtual assistant, whatever it is? Do you have to do it all yourself, especially if you're getting to the point where you're resenting it? Because resentment leads to you wanting to give up. And I don't want you to give up. I certainly don't want to give up. So there will be times when pausing is the perfect solution. Just pause. Also, give yourself permission to pause, but also don't have any guilt around it. And I know we've talked about this before. That's another thing that I'm making sure to learn too. Is it better to, I said I'm going to get it up at this time, I have to get it up at that time, or is it better to pause? And look, pause could be 5 minutes, an hour, a few days, a week, however long you need. But whatever it is, and for me, sometimes it's just, I need a few hours, can't work on it tonight. I need to give myself some space. Creatively, it's not there, whatever it is. But pausing is better to do that than to push through, not give your best when you could have just waited for a little bit of time. And any of you, say you're writing a book or working on a project. I've had to do that too with articles, all kinds of things. Pause, walk away from it. Give it a night if you're not on deadline. Do whatever you need to do to give it some space. Just hit pause. Just stop for a minute. This works too, not to get too into this and get us too off topic, but when you're having conflict with people, conflict at work, conflict in your relationship, pause. Pause. Walk away, come back with clear mind where you can ask clarifying questions. Make sure you're both talking about the same thing that is the issue and not projecting feelings onto each other or making up stories. That's another thing. So again, don't push through in that case. You need to pause. You get to pause. It's better to pause. Now, like I said in the beginning, there are times when you want to push through, and only you can be the judge of that. Not that I'm judging based on when you should pause. I gave my offering for what I believe. But like I said, there will be times when you want to push through because you don't want to, again, give up on yourself. Don't think just because things are getting hard or it's not going exactly as you want, or in my case, sometimes it's not moving as quickly as you want because I can be impatient with things that I'm doing for myself or by myself, creating by myself. And I feel impatient if I don't feel like it's picking up the way that I had hoped. But everything in divine time, right? Still, I have to push through that resistance. So for you, there are times when, again, a choice, you get to push through and feel the joy of being on the other side of that resistance. So don't let the thing that you're thinking, oh, well, I need to pause because it's not working out. Or, oh, I need to pause because people don't believe in it. Oh, I need to pause because people are talking negatively about what I'm doing or not supporting me. No, those things I offer. You go ahead and push through because on the other side of that, because that too shall pass, on the other side of that is joy. And that is ultimately in all of this, and my freestyle talking here, all of it is really about being joyful in what you create, joyful in what you do, joyful in the results. So whatever it takes for you to get through that process, remember to give yourself permission to pause or push through. All right. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for allowing me the space to pause when I need to. I appreciate you all that you keep coming back again and again and again. Make sure, please, that you subscribe to the podcast. This not only helps you not miss anything, but it helps other people find out about it. When you subscribe, helps the numbers. Not that we're all about numbers, but hey, let's be real. I want more and more people to find out about this because what I hope is that I offer something that's beneficial, and certainly that the women entrepreneurs who are featured on the show do offer something beneficial. So make sure you subscribe so neither of you miss a thing. All right. Thank you for being here again. I appreciate you. And until next time, never forget, you deserve support. And I'll talk to you soon. Take care.